Hello, welcome to Retrocore and another hardware review, and today we are taking a look at the Zero 40, probably the world's first dedicated vertical handheld system. Yes, there have been other systems in the past that do rotate and let you play vertically, such as the WonderSwan or the Atari Lynx, but they were not made with vertical games only in mind. This is. So let's take a look and see what we get in the box. So of course the console itself has been removed, but we'll take a look at that later on. It comes in this nice little silky bag, and at the bottom of the box we have the usual manual, written in English of course, and in here we've got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and that's your lot. That's all you get in the box. But what else do you need? Not a lot really. Well, a charger would be nice, I guess. Now here's the actual console itself, and just look at that. And instantly given away, yes, this is running Android. But as you can see, it is a vertical screen orientated device. Now the console itself is flat all the way around, so there is no grips on the back to hold. However, it does feel reasonable. It would be nice to have a couple of little raised sections here, so you can actually get your arms, fingers around it like that. But as it is, it's not too bad. On the front we've got our usual selection of buttons. We've got analog stick, D-pad, 4 face buttons, start and select, and the menu button up here. We got our typical L and R triggers, DC in and an extra controller input. We've got a headphone out, and on the bottom nothing at all. On this side we've got our volume rocker, and this side we've got 2 micro SD card slots and the power button. Now, being a virtual device, you would expect this to be touchscreen, and it is touchscreen, as you can see. Now, it comes with Nintendo DS and 1,400 games built in, and also arcade vertical scrolling games, or TATE games. But what's also weird is that it also comes with normal arcade games and a load of other emulators. And to be honest, I think that these are complete and utter waste of time on a system like this, because they're going to be playing in a little tiny screen up at the top there, which looks absolutely ridiculous. For example, take a look here. We'll go into 32X. We'll just pick up a 32X game. We'll go with virtual racing, and you'll see what I mean. It'll play in a little tiny screen up here, and it's actually no way to change the orientation so it plays this way. And even if you couldn't really control it well. So yeah, so I do not see the point in playing normal emulated games on this. But what I do see the point in is playing vertical games on it, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at in this video. Okay, so first of all, let's start off with Nintendo DS. Now, with there being 1,400 games in this Nintendo DS section, it is a real pain in the bum to search through them all, but you can do a name search. So pressing start brings up this menu here. By the way, it is touchscreen, but typing on it is pretty difficult due to it being very small. So I'm going to use the D-pad. So with this, you can actually search for the game that you want to play. So I'm going to go with Beautiful Joe. Just put View in there, that should be enough. Oops, by the way, I better move it over to the Nintendo DS section. So it just brings up the results in the Nintendo DS area. And here we go. There we go, Beautiful Joe, there it is. Pressing the A button brings up the game. Now I have got the frame counter on here in the corner, so you can see how well this actually runs. So let's get into the actual game. And of course, being a Nintendo DS, this bottom screen is touchscreen compatible. Watch this. See? Just press the touchscreen and it works just like a normal Nintendo DS. We will go to load game. Yeah, just play it as normal. And as you can see, this game is running absolutely perfectly fine with no issues. So let's try another Nintendo 3DS game. I think we will go with Ridge Racer if it's on here. So let's bring up the search menu again. We'll move over to Nintendo DS. So we don't bring up the results from all the other machines. And let's just type in Ridge. Oops. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, it's brought up all sorts of stuff. There we go, Ridge Racer DS. Okay, let's see how well this runs. Okay, we've got our frame counter up at the top.
3, 2, 1, go!
And our analog controls also work. I think I'll stick with digital.
2 laps to go.
Excuse me, I am playing this behind the camera, so it's a little bit tricky. Oh jeez. But you can see, this is also working really well. No frame dropping or anything like that. Now to get out of games, it's very simple. You just press the menu button up here and it brings up another menu down there. Pressing on this one, you can get to the exit. Now on arcade games, it is actually a lot easier to actually get out of the games, and I just resetted that, didn't I? Instead of actually quitting the game. There we go, quit, okay. Now in arcade games, it is a lot easier to actually get out of games. They have a more simple menu system. So let's take a look at a couple of arcade games running on this. So pressing the shoulder button once takes us over to the arcade vertical scrolling games. And we've got all sorts of interesting games on here. So for example, let's take a look at one of the more modern Donpachi games. And you'll see that it will run without any issues whatsoever. Now because this is a 16 by 9 screen, we do get this little bezel down the bottom, but it's not too distracting, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Again, we've got the frames per second switched on here. So this should stay above 60 to show you that it is running perfectly fine, full speed. Now we can use the analog controls if we wish. I'm going to go with the D-pad. I think you can agree that it's running this very well without any issues. Let's try a different game which may be a little bit more difficult to emulate, a game with some sort of scaling in it. So we've got a Boogie Boy on here, I think, so let's check that out. A TATE game, if I remember rightly. This is it, Boogie Challenge, that's the one I wanted. So it's got some scaling on it, so will this cause any issues for the device? Let's put in the credits and find out. Okay, this one only has digital controls. And nope, it's working just fine. Have I got to crash into those or what? I'm not too sure. Oh, and there I go, I'm dead. Okay. Now, of course, playing vertical games is not all about shooters and racing games. We've also got action games as well, such as the original Contra, which was a vertical screen game. And here it is. Let's see how well this works. Okay, and here we go with some Contra action. I don't know what I'm going to do here because I am looking behind the camera. Alright, let's get down here. Avoid that exploding bridge. I've got to say, the stereo effect coming through these two little speakers on the front is not bad at all. You can actually notice the actual stereo effect. Oh no, didn't want that. Oh, now I'm in trouble. Alright, let's check out a different game. Yeah, not a problem. Now you may be wondering, are there any lag on the controls? And to be honest, no. It feels just like playing a normal handheld. I don't feel any lag at all. I mean, obviously there is some lag because it's emulation, but it really isn't noticeable. It's good. So what else can you do with this apart from play vertically scrolling games? I mean, let's face it, you're not going to play normal games on here because, as I showed you just before, you're stuck to a little tiny screen up here. It's completely pointless. Well, pressing the button up here, the R2 trigger, you do go into this section which has some built-in games which are conversions. Not sure if these are wide TATE games, vertical scrolling games, but we'll soon see. Let's see. Oh, it is. Alright. And the touchscreen works as well. Turn down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna... Okay, English. Okay, it's good to see the touchscreen works very well. Okay, so we... Oh, okay, so it's a touchscreen game. Okay, well, how did this work? Move by flick, okay. Nope, I don't know how this works. Oh, I gotta flick the dude. No, it seems to be stuck over in the corner for some reason. Okay, well obviously this game doesn't seem to work. Okay. Also in here we've got some tools. So we've got a clock, Firefox browser. Yes, this does connect to the internet. It is Wi-Fi enabled. But as you can see up there, I am not actually connected to my Wi-Fi at the moment. We also got some certain settings which we can change as well. Basically it just goes straight to the normal Android menu system. Talking of which, this is actually running Android version 10. There we go. So if we keep tapping it, there we go, Android 10. We also got a clock. Not so sure why you'd like to leave that on, but you can do if you wish. Set your alarms and so on. A gallery, let's see if it's got any pictures built in. It does have some images of games, probably screenshots for the actual menu system. And Firefox, so let's bring up Firefox. Is it going to be vertically orientated? It seems like it will be. Yes, it is. And of course, if I was connected to the net, we could go and search the net. Okay. So with this being Android, you could probably install YouTube and stuff on it as well. Going through further applications, you can see we've got a load of stuff here, including a couple of emulators. And if we go here, we can actually change more settings in the actual machine. But I don't want to be messing around with any of those because I can't really see the screen from this view angle. Alright, so there we have it. That is the 040. A pretty decent machine for your vertical gaming needs. As I said, would I really bother playing normal games on it? And the answer is no, I would not. And also, I presume some people out there are probably wondering, well, what if you got a vertical game on a normal system? Could you play it on this vertically? And I'm afraid not, it doesn't work that way. For example, if we go to Dreamcast, and there we go, Dreamcast, and if we load up Ikaruga, for example, oops, what am I doing, library? If we load up Ikaruga, which is a vertically scrolling game, you will see that it just plays vertically orientated, but in a little tiny box on the screen. The weird thing is that the actual boot up screen is vertically orientated. That's pretty interesting. But the actual games are not. See, it just goes into that little tiny screen in the middle. Completely pointless. And now you're probably thinking, well, what if you change it in the options? Well, no, it doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. But I'll show you anyway. So here we go. We go horizontal 1, 2. See, it just does that. You're still going to be playing in a little tiny screen in the middle of the actual main screen. So it is pretty pointless. So there you have it, the 040. I do like it. It's a pretty decent machine, as long as you forget about all the other stuff that they've put on there, the other emulators and so on. In fact, I wish they didn't put them on there because it does bring the actual machine down, in my opinion. They should have just kept it with Nintendo DS and the vertical scrolling arcade games, and then it would have had a winner. Putting all the stuff on it that isn't vertically scrolling, just, you know, it just brings it down. They should have not done that. But anyway, ignore all that other crap, or better still, delete all that other crap, and just keep the vertical scrolling arcade and the Nintendo DS stuff, and you got yourself a pretty interesting and nice little handheld. Link in the video description down below if you're interested in checking it out. See ya!